It comes exactly at the distance where Jupiter's gravity dominates, which is very surprising. Why would it come exactly at that distance? If it deploys anything, if there are any objects breaking off through the Atlas, then of course everything will change.
Right.
So I'm just waiting a few more months until we get all the data on it before I give a final rank for the chance that it's technological.
Great to have you with us. And it is great to have Avi Loeb joining us this morning. Israeli and American theoretical physicist. Works on the astrophysics and cosmology at Harvard. He's a Frank B. Baird Jr. Professor of Science at Harvard. Founded the Department of Astronomy from 2011 to 2020. And he founded the Black Hole Initiative in 2016. That sounds fascinating.
It does. It does. He was on last time. We found out he didn't have anything to do with Cosmopolitan. So, Avi, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thanks for having me. It's a great pleasure.
Absolutely.
What was the Black Hole Initiative?
Right. So that was the first center worldwide to focus on the study of black holes. Black holes are the ultimate prison. Anything that gets into them cannot get out. Sort of like Las Vegas, whatever happens inside
stays.
Right.
Yeah.
People do leave Las Vegas, though.
But people do, but what they do there is not. At any event, in a black hole, nothing can escape. Even light cannot escape. So the question is, can we observe them? And the answer is yes. And in fact, this center that I founded took an image of a black hole 3 years later. It's basically a silhouette. There is a gas glowing behind it, like wallpaper.
Right.
And that glow is being absorbed by the black hole. So you see a silhouette. You see a shadow of the black hole. And that image was taken. So now we know that they exist, black holes. And also we see them all the way to the edge of the universe, either because gas falling to them gets very hot and we can see it shining, or because whenever two of them come together, they merge, they generate ripples in space and time that propagate all the way to us, so we can measure them.
Wow.
The LIGO experiment detected that in 2015.
So fascinating. Plus, we've discovered that there's a black hole at the center of virtually every galaxy, right, including our own.
Yes, I do not advise going there unless you are curious what's inside. Because, it's obviously if you have a limited time left for your life, that's an amazing journey. But you can never come back alive out of that, because near the center of a black hole, there is a very strong tidal gravitational field that basically tears your body apart. And nobody can escape that. So,
that's not good.
So it's not a good idea to get into a black hole.
So if I were to finally arrive...
Then you'd just be torn apart. So you wouldn't get to see what's in the black hole. Dang it.
Yeah, but there are benefits being close to the black hole, because it's a perfect source of clean energy. You can get you can convert rest mass to radiation, and also time is slowing down close to a black hole. So you can imagine a beauty salon where you will always look young relative to your relatives that are far away. It's an amazing environment. And those supermassive black holes are bigger than the solar system.
Right.
They're huge. They contain somewhere between 1 million and 10 billion times the mass of the sun. So they're huge. And then there are the small ones that are produced by a massive star collapsing. By the way, just recently I had been a co-author on a study that we basically have evidence for a star that disappeared. It's in the nearest galaxy called Andromeda, the sister galaxy.
It disappeared, went into the black hole.
Yeah, exactly. The star finished its nuclear fuel and then collapsed into a black hole. So it sort of disappeared, and we saw it in real time. So that's
cool.
quite amazing.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's cool. Real time from 2.5 million years ago, right?
Yeah.
So
it happens all the time. The Milky Way has a graveyard of stars that died by now. The sun will die in 7.6 billion years. The sun will turn into an object the size of the Earth when it dies, when it consumes its nuclear fuel. It's just like a nuclear reactor. At some point, the fuel will be consumed, and that's it. It will cool and contract to what is called the white dwarf. It's sort of
that's not going to happen.
An object the size of the Earth. So, the Milky Way is full. The graveyard of the Milky Way is full of corpses of stars like the sun, but also of black holes. There are of order 100 million of them, and there are billions of white dwarfs, the kind of end state of the sun in the distant future.
Fascinating.
Sure is.
We wanted to talk to you though about 3I Atlas because you've still been following that, and it's still fascinating and doing some weird things that. Well, so many physicists and astronomers are saying, no, it's just a regular comet. Don't worry about it. There's still some really unusual things that lead you to believe it's possible. I don't know if it's likely, but it's possible it's alien tech, right?
Yeah, well, for example, there were 34 images obtained by the Hubble Space Telescope over the past 2 months. And when we analyzed them, we removed the spherical glow around the nucleus of this object. So what was left is actually jets that we could see coming out of the nucleus. And there are 3 mini jets coming, separated equally from each other by 120 degrees projected on the sky. And that kind of asymmetry is difficult to understand as a result of a random sublimation of pockets of ice on the surface of a rock. Why would it be so symmetric? And then there is this anti-tail, which is headed towards the sun, opposite to the direction where you see usually cometary tails that are pushed away from the sun by the solar radiation. So, and also, we see organic molecules around it. Which leads to the question, is there life in it? Are there microbes? Because, that's one way, if you wanted to spread life throughout the Milky Way Galaxy or the universe, a cheap way to do that would be to basically, imagine we discovered 3I Atlas back on July 1st, 2025, and then the space agencies would decide as a matter of priority to send a spacecraft that will intercept it. And that was possible. And then if it intercepts it, it could deposit a capsule with microbes in it. And there are all the nutrients there. So you just need a source of heat, which can be provided by some radioactive material that you put in the capsule.
If we could have done that.
And then this thing would carry on the microbes to interstellar space at 60 kilometers per second, which is twice the speed of the fastest rockets that we ever launched. And it would bring it, potentially, this life, it would seed other planetary systems when it goes through them, because it evaporate when it comes close to other stars.
So you believe that it's just searching for other life forms to get to
so it could be a way of spreading seeds, just like the dandelion flower does.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think I read an article where you mentioned like 3 sort of jet-like things in the back of this that might be a power source?
Yeah, so these are the mini jets that I just mentioned. It could be used for to stabilize a technological object. When we think about 3I Atlas, surely there are signatures of a comet. Obviously, we see a plume of gas, we see some dust around it, but there are also anomalies, and I listed 18 of them. And the question is, could it be a Trojan horse? That it looks completely innocent, but inside of it there is some technology.
If we were
because it's unusual in the sense that it came in the plane of the planets around the sun to within 5 degrees, and that's a chance of 1 in 500. And it's also coming very close to Mars and Jupiter. So the question is whether that was all designed. And I think we should always examine each and every future object. By now, it's clear that the size of the object, the diameter is 2.6 kilometers, which is pretty large. This object is 20,000 times more massive than the first one, and this is the third one, and it's 20,000 times more massive than Oumuamua, the one that was discovered in 2017. And so it's so big and also moving faster than all the previous objects. So it has a lot of unusual features. And the question is whether, it was sent by some intelligence to targeting the inner solar system.
What are the odds that it was sent by aliens?
I would say it's most likely a natural object, but maybe at the level of tenths of percent, I would still consider that possibility. But of course, we're not done yet, because it will come close to Jupiter on March 16th. Mm-hmm. And if it deploys anything near Jupiter, it comes exactly at the distance where Jupiter's gravity dominates, which is very surprising. Why would it come exactly at that distance? If it deploys anything, if there are any objects breaking off through Atlas, then of course everything will change.
Right.
So I'm just waiting a few more months until we get all the data on it before I give a final rank for the chance that it's technological.
Okay.
I love it. I can't wait. I will say this. I don't know what you're doing with your time. I was looking at your book releases, and Extraterrestrial was in 2021 and Interstellar was in 2023. You've done nothing since. What are you doing?
I actually wrote a third book, and it's now with the publisher MIT Press, and hopefully it will come out within a year. There is also a Netflix documentary about the same subject that my third book is about, which is the expedition. I took an expedition to the Pacific Ocean to study the materials from an interstellar meteor. That's a small object, roughly half a meter in size, that collided with Earth back in 2014.
Wow.
And we went there to see if it's a Voyager-like meteor, if we can find materials from it that indicate potentially that it's technological in origin, because it was very fast. It had a high material strength. It didn't disintegrate until it came really down through the atmosphere, despite its high speed.
And that's a Netflix documentary? Is it available now?
Yes. Not yet. Hopefully, hopefully in 2026.
All right.
Okay. Looking forward to it.
And where can people go to find more of your fascinating information?
So I'm writing an essay almost every day on medium.com. So you can just search for AVI-LOEB, that's my first and last name, .medium.com. And then just last week, I established several social media platforms, one on YouTube, Spotify, and X. And the reason I did that is because other people were producing fake videos using AI to generate them that speak in my voice and provide misinformation. So I decided the only way for me to cope with that is providing authentic content on the same platforms. And you can already see that the one on YouTube, the new channel that I established, has 9 videos by now, and there are already 16,000 subscribers just within a week, and also 50,000 views for many of these videos. So it's gaining momentum, and I hope that this would be a good way of sort of finding a way to remove fake content from those platforms. Right. This is the problem that we will face in the future with AI.
That's for sure. Avi, fascinating as always. Appreciate it.
Yeah, good to see you.
Looking forward to talking to you again. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
At Blaze TV, we've built a home for some of the strongest, smartest voices in conservative media. When you subscribe to Blaze TV, you're not just watching content, you're supporting a movement. You're backing creators who think for themselves, speak boldly, and refuse to be silenced. It's everything the networks won't show you, delivered on your terms, on any device, anytime. BlazeTV.com/Pat. You'll save $20 right now off our annual plan.